the guardian entities and the laws of the gates. Overcoming shadow at the threshold. If you open the ancient Egyptian underworld text, you are immediately confronted by terrifying imagery, massive stone gates, guarded by entities wielding knives, spitting fire, bearing names like He Who Dances in Blood or Mistress of Dread. For centuries, modern scholars brushed these beings off as primitive superstitions or monsters born of ancient fear. But they missed the true metaphysical secret. These entities were never evil demons. They were sacred guardians of frequency. So welcome back to Harmonized Spirits. In episode 1, we mapped the fluid landscape of the Duat, and in the episode 2, we decoded the multi-layered technology of your soul. Today, in episode 3, we are standing at the threshold. We are breaking down the guardian entities, the secret laws of the gates, and how decoding these ancient monsters provides the ultimate blueprint for modern shadow work and somatic healing. So let's dive in. In texts like the Book of Gates and the Book of the Dead, the traveler doesn't just stroll freely through the Duat. The underworld is heavily fortified by a series of guarded portals, sometimes 7, sometimes 12, and sometimes 21, depending on the text you read. At every single portal stands a triad of guardians, a gatekeeper, a watcher, and a herald. To pass through, the soul couldn't just fight their way past with physical force. Sword and shield meant nothing in the Duat. Instead, the soul was required to do 2 specific things. Speak the exact secret name of the gate and its guardians. This would demonstrate that their energetic frequency was pure enough to endure the room beyond. If the traveler panicked, lied, or held onto dense emotional corruption, the gatekeeper's blades activated. But if the soul spoke the name with authority and absolute truth, the guardians stepped aside, lowered their weapons, and declared, "Pass on, you are pure." So metaphysically, these gates were frequency filters. They existed to ensure that no unintegrated, chaotic, or even low vibrational energy could enter the higher solar realms of creation. When we translate this ancient symbolism into modern psychology, energy work, and even shamanic healing, the truth becomes undeniable. The guardian entities are your stored traumas and unexamined shadows. Think about what happens when you try to make a major spiritual leap, launch a new project, or heal a deep relationship. Suddenly, out of nowhere, you get hit with intense anxiety, self-sabotage, impostor syndrome, or sudden physical exhaustion. Now, this is not the universe punishing you. That is a gatekeeper standing in your path. When trauma, fear, or even shame sit unexamined in your subconscious, they act as guardians with knives. They block you from accessing the higher states of peace, power, and intuition because your system literally cannot handle that level of light while carrying that much dense baggage. And why did the ancient text stress knowing the secret names of the guardians as much as they did? Because really, in esoteric tradition, naming something gives you authority over it. In somatic therapy and shadow work today, we call this bringing the subconscious into conscious awareness. The moment you look your shadow in the eye and name it, this is my fear of abandonment. This is my trauma around expression, or whatever it is. The monster loses its power to terrorize you. The knife is lowered. So how do you practically navigate these thresholds when you hit a wall in your daily life? First, stop fighting the guardian. When you experience an intense trigger or emotional contraction, don't try to suppress it or push past it. That's like trying to change at a gatekeeper's position, or like you're running at them with a sword. Second, learn its name. Sit with the somatic sensation in your body where you are holding that tightness. Is it in your throat, your solar plexus, your chest? Ask that sensation what it is trying to protect. Name the emotion with radical self-honesty. Third, pass the frequency test. The guardians only let you pass when you embody Mayat, truth and balance. You cannot fake your way through a threshold like this. The moment you accept your shadow, integrate the lesson, and raise your vibrational integrity, the threshold dissolves. So let's anchor this into your nervous system right now. Take a deep, slow breath in through your nose, drawing it deep into your belly, and release it through your mouth. Bring it to mind a current challenge, a block, or fear you are facing right now. Picture that resistance standing before you, not as a wall, but as an ancient stone gatekeeper. Instead of shrinking back, stand tall in your authority. Look directly at that guardian in your mind's eye. Silently speak these words to that part of yourself. I see you. I know your name. You are not my enemy. You are the guardian of my threshold. I integrate the lesson, I release the fear, and I claim my passage. Take a deep breath in, feeling the space open up around your heart and throat. Know that every gate you face is simply an invitation to step into greater power. When you learn to stop running from the gatekeepers, the underworld ceases to be a place of fear and becomes a temple of initiation. So in episode 4, we are going to be talking and taking the next major step on this journey. We're exploring words of power and the vibrational magic of Heka, diving deep into the metaphysics of sound, ancient Egyptian incantations, and how sound and spoken word can manipulate the field. So if this episode helped you reframe your own inner blocks, hit that like button, subscribe, and share it with someone who is currently doing heavy shadow work. Drop a comment below, letting me know what thresholds you are standing before right now. And if you are ready to do this deep shadow integration work in a real supported practice, join our school community at the link below in the description. And until next time, learn the names of your guardians, honor your thresholds, and keep walking in alignment.